Is fishing a religious freedom? That's a case that a group of 13 Yupik fishermen hope to make. They say fishing for king salmon is not just a matter of putting food on the table, but an important part of their spirituality. The Alaska Court of Appeals is hearing the case, and KTVA 11's Rhonda McBride was in the courtroom. She joins us now with the details. Rhonda.
Alexis, this case has been working its way through the courts for 2 years now. Fishermen say state fishery managers did not consider their spiritual ties to subsistence fishing when it imposed a ban on king salmon fishing. Although there were no fishermen in the courtroom today, just attorneys, the restrictions which spawned acts of civil disobedience continue to reverberate. Empty fish camps in June, not unlike those of 2012, when fishermen defied a state ban on subsistence fishing for king salmon. In some cases, their nets were cut. Hey! All their fish was confiscated, and fishermen wound up with citations. Some have since paid their fines, but 13 are still fighting.
Yupik people haven't extinguished any species that they've been stewards of for thousands of years.
Attorney Jim Davis seeks to overturn a court decision to enforce the fines imposed upon the fishermen. His argument, they were attempting to maintain a connection with their Yupik spirituality. The belief that when the fish are running, the universe or God takes offense if an opportunity is wasted.
Will granting this religious exemption hurt the state's compelling interest, right? That's really the test.
The state said the answer to that is clearly no, that it could lead to unfettered fishing that could harm future salmon returns.
It doesn't make any sense to say that the criminal defendant can escape liability for taking a mile by showing the state could have given him an inch.
Davis countered by saying 3 days after the illegal fishing took place, the state allowed an opening.
And the state takes a position in this case, we couldn't let your guys, your Yupik fishers, catch any because there were none to be caught. Well, then how were there 20,000 to be caught on June 23rd by all Alaska residents?
The state says test fisheries at the time supported opening up the river to fishing. The defense says it's proof fisheries managers could have been more flexible. Among supporters of the fishermen, the Alaska Federation of Natives.
We just remember very, very closely all what was going on that summer on that, and we just thought it was so unfair that the system couldn't adapt to it.
Since 2012, the system has adapted. Villages on a large stretch of the Kuskokwim River requested federal management of the king fishery. As a result, the state and feds worked together to allow more subsistence opportunity this season. Now keep in mind that there's always intense pressure on fishery managers to make the right call. Their prime directive to protect the runs and make sure that they come back. One judge today pointed out that the state needs a policy to spell out how a fishery accommodating religious needs can take place. There are such guidelines for Athabascan potlatches and memorials for big game. Now it could be 6 months or more before the appeals court issues its decision on the fishermen.